Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're back on that zx14 2011 model Gen 1 engine issue. So we last left off, I had the engine apart, well not the whole engine, just the bottom cases I split apart to inspect the damage and if there was any further damage, because there was a lot of clutch and shifter damage, which I'll show you shortly. But I did leave off with splitting the cases and showing you what was in there. The good news is there was really no internal damage to the crank and the transmission. I ended up buying a spare transmission. I didn't use any of the transmission gears. I just replaced the parts that I found that were damaged. So I did put that engine back together. That engine's already back in the bike because there was really nothing to show you guys. There was no damage. Well, one tiny chip or indentation in the crank gear, the gear that drives the clutch. I filed it down and moved on. I wasn't going to replace the whole crank just for that gear. So that was literally the only issue inside the engine. So I lubed everything back up, put it back together, and it's back in the bike now. So this is a follow-up to actually show you what broke. So there's all the pieces that were in the pan. And just kind of sitting right underneath where the clutch basket sits. So we had the shifter rod itself. This got all damaged right here when the pieces blew apart. Well, let me show you what blew apart. So there's all the springs. There's pieces of the clutch basket on the back. This basket has a dampener with a bunch of springs, and that's what it looks like. All the springs are gone. They flew out, broke. Chunks of this cage kind of gone. You know, there's multiple pieces here. This was all sitting in the oil pan. There was a little bit of metal in the oil filter, or the what's it called, the suction tube, that little screen inside there. There was a little in there. I cleaned all that out. I flushed it really well, and when these exploded, they must have just been clutch dropping this thing left and right. You know, it was a theft recovery, so it's not their bike, they don't care. So they must have been just clutch dropping the hell out of it, because it had an extended swing arm and it was just beating the snot out of this basket and these dampeners. So those exploded, went all over the clutch area, took out the detent star for the drum, the shift drum. It took all the post out, gone. This is the oil pump drive. Not much damage on this except for, come on, focus. It chipped a tooth. So some of those springs, maybe the metal got stuck in there and it chipped that one tooth. So that came into the spare transmission kit I bought. So I swapped that out. That's almost a whole tooth missing, so I wasn't going to leave that in there. And then this is the shifter rod itself. You know, it broke. Springs are gone. Springs are damaged. It looks like it may have bent it down a little bit as well. So this also came in with literally it was the whole transmission parts assembly that I bought, and then I bought a whole separate clutch basket assembly. The clutches in here are toast. They're burned up. So I was like, why just buy the basket and then I got to get clutches? And I just bought a good used clutch assembly and swap that out. So this was all straightforward swap. I mean, you can do it all right there without splitting the cases. There was no shift drum issues. There was no shifter fork issues. All the gears on the teeth. What did I say? All the gears on the transmission were fine. No damage, nothing bent, nothing broken. So I literally put the engine back together. You know, I'm working 6 days a week now, so I just did it, you know, late at night, got it done. And this is what the damage was in that case, that engine. So the engine survived, and here we are now. Engine is back in the bike, and now I have a no start condition. Well, actually, when I put it back in the bike, it cranked over. It started up for a split second, then died out. And then I tried it another day, and now it won't even try and light up. It just cranks and cranks and cranks. So it is, I'm thinking maybe there's a fuel issue. That fuel pump sounds very loud, like it's dumping fuel inside. Yeah, nothing. It won't do anything. So my guess is that fuel pump's humming really bad. So I think maybe the fuel pump is bleeding internally. I never took the pump out. I took the tank off, and then that was it. I threw it on the side, and then never checked. You can hear it pumping, but I think it's maybe a hose popped off in there, and it's just pissing the pressure internal of the tank. But here, you know, it's back together. It doesn't run, but it did try and fire. I did do a compression test on the engine. I don't remember if I showed you that in the previous video. I don't think so, because my dad was here. We did get pretty good compression numbers. They were all over the place. This engine's been sitting for a long time, so I'd expect that. So the average was about 175 psi, which that's definitely a little lower, but it is a cold engine that probably hasn't ran in a long time. And then I think one cylinder had almost 200 psi, so I think it was 175, 180, and then 200 psi. So the 200 psi is good. the 175, I'm hoping it's just, you know, stuck rings, you know, just from sitting. Take a little time, but I do have oil pressure. When you crank it over, the oil pressure light does turn off. So I'm gonna leave it here at that on this episode, and then the next one we'll start diagnosing why in the heck it doesn't want to start. But I'm thinking it's that fuel pump leaking internally. So I guess until next time, please like and subscribe, and I'll get that video out as quickly as I can. Like I said, I have been working 6 days a week, and you know, I'm kind of disappointed in you guys only getting 9, 10, 15, 20 views on my videos, so I kind of lost motivation there as well. But please do what you got to do to get others to see this, because I can't really continue on without it. Appreciate you guys watching this, and I'll see you next time.